Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Failroad Express. My name is Sean Sullivan. This is Josh Davis. And
I'm
this is
Christopher Lachey.
That's his name.
I have a name.
It's Christopher Lachey.
Hello.
That's Josh Davison.
Hi, it's me.
He's Sean Sullivan.
That's who I am, Sean Sullivan. I say my name. Josh, what's the game about?
Taking you on a journey.
Tell us about the game, Josh.
I'm telling you what the game is.
Say it.
What it's about.
It says Henchman by Clarion Game Studios. Plays 2 to 6 players. Fart nuggets. Takes 30 to 60 minutes depending on players.
A position has opened up in upper middle management, and you, the lowly minion, has to slog through this course.
Me, the lonely minion.
We all play as lowly minions in this deck building game.
Hooray!
We're gonna show you how it's done.
Let's go.
And then we're gonna review it.
Yeah.
On our
that's
three categories.
gonna happen.
Ease of use, replayability, and overall fun. So we're gonna start the round, and you start with choosing a minion in control. I'm the minion in control because I was the most recent person to help somebody with a laborious task. So I draw 2 cards from these task lists, because of the red background. Right here, we've got 1 task. Ew. It's a very simple one. It only uses 2 time, and this one uses 3 times. So I need to allocate these to people who I think are competent and capable of handling them.
Which is none of us.
These two idiots
Here's
right
what I'm
here.
gonna have to do right now. So I'm actually gonna give the 3-time one to Josh, and if he succeeds, then he gets 2 reputation and I get 2 reputation. Very easy stuff. All right, this one here, it's 2 time. There's a 0 rep bonus. It's almost impossible. It's 2 time. Sean's gonna have the time to be able to do this. That's it. It's the easiest thing he could possibly do.
If I complete this, there's nothing good that'll happen.
No, I'm not giving you
But
anything.
if it's bad stuff, I just have to discard a card, but he'll lose 2 rep.
But he wouldn't do that on purpose because he's not a jerk.
Right. Yeah, that would never happen.
So the first thing I'm gonna do is, because I only need 2 time, right, guys? So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to flatter the evil overlord. So I'll play this, and I'll just gain 1 rep right now. I'll lose 1 time. I got 5. That's still fine. After that, I'll build the evil overlord in effigy. See that? That's great. I lose 2 time for that. 1, 2. So I've got 3 time, and I'll gain 1, 2, 3 reputation from that. That's great. The evil overlord, he loves that. And then unfortunately after that, I'm going to misplace my tools, and so I will add 3 to the time of that task, so a total of 5. That takes me 1 time. And then I've got 2 time left, and that gives me just enough time to spike the coffee and double that. So after that, that'll be a ×2 placed onto that. And at that point, that means that this 2 time task now takes me 10 time to complete, and oh, look at that. Unfortunately, I've got no time left to complete the task, so it's fine. Everything's fine. I fail my task. Or I'm going to fail my task. I don't know. Maybe somebody could stop that. Josh, it's your turn.
Well, I'm not going to do anything to stop that. In fact, I will just focus on my tasks.
Thank you.
I just have to make 3. I start with 4 because of my character, Snoring Sally, at the bottom there where the clock is, right there. You can see she starts with 4 time. So I'm going to actually make this a little easier for myself. I'm going to set your alarm. It allows me to add 2 time, but because I'm Snoring Sally, any cards that increase my time are doubled. I actually get 4 time for that, which brings me up to 8. And then I didn't necessarily need that, but I wanted to play other cards. One of the cards I'm going to play is Do Your Job Poorly. Tover's giving me a look. And basically that if my task is completed, the MIC suffers the penalty rather than the award. So, hooray, I get the reward. Hooray, Topher doesn't get the reward. It may or may not be good. That costs 3. So I have enough to do the thing, and when I succeed, Topher still suffers the penalty, and that's my turn.
Okay, I don't have a task. I am playing as Coffee Christie. So her special power is I can spend 2 time on my turn to draw a card. So something I forgot to mention is because I was explaining these tasks to these 2 idiots, my 8 time that I start with is actually cut in half to 4 time. So I only have a limited amount of time to do things. I guess I will spend Flatter the Overlord for 1 time. I'm gonna set my alarm and get 2 time. I don't have anything to salvage this. I'm gonna spend 2 time as Coffee Christie to draw from my deck, and maybe I'll get... Nope. Is there a limit to how many times I can do this?
Do it again.
No,
Do it again.
You have 1 time left.
Yeah.
Oh. Turn's over. I got nothing. So it is. So yeah, you can do that. You can intentionally screw people
So
up.
then it goes to me, and what happens is that I discard 1 card. I'm out of cards, doesn't matter. And Topher, he loses 2 rep because I couldn't place this impossible 10-time task.
Yeah, right? Like,
Who could do that?
Right, yeah.
It's impossible.
Huh?
So that task then gets discarded over here, and then when we go through all these tasks in the deck, it'll get reshuffled back in, and then the Overlord will loot, The Overlord will get a little messed up and pissed and angry, and we'll move this tracker down 1. When that happens.
I succeed, so I actually gain 2 rep for succeeding. Topher, however...
Let me see this card.
Topher, however, loses 1 reputation. And as opposed to... Because I succeeded in this one, as opposed to it going into the regular discards, this is actually removed completely from play, if I'm not mistaken.
I become the next minion in charge, and it moves on from there.
Now we're going to go ahead and review the game. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, please go ahead and like and subscribe, hit the bell to get updates. Feel free to leave a comment about anything you want to see in later reviews. For ease of use, we gave the game 8 out of 10. We're also going to put a 6 out of 10 with an asterisk, and that has to do with all the symbols and the colors in the game are great, but in the rulebook, it's void of any pictures. I'm stupid. I need pictures. Pictures help. It do. They do. It do. The pictures do help. I don't know what these arrows do. I don't know what this means for upgrades. We've got things that are color-coded, but we don't really have an explanation of what the color coding does for the game. It just makes it an overall more easily accessible game if you have pictures to show us how the setup goes, how the game rotates through play, and how the cards play off one another. I had a much easier time than Josh, Jash, and Sean because they actually taught it to me after going through it round for round. So my ease of use, it's about an 8 out of 10. 6 with an asterisk.
For replayability, we gave it a 5 out of 10. I think there's a sense of strategy when you're deck building, when you're building for your minion, you're choosing your cards. There is a little bit more to that because there's one particular card that Sean will mention that kind of breaks that. But for overall, I think that learning a particular minion and having a good sense of what cards you should or shouldn't have is interesting and fun and good to learn. I can see how it would be tedious for others though. And I don't know if it would be for everyone. I also think that the game itself tends to stretch on just a little beyond what it should. It's like a whitest kids you know sketch. The joke is there, and then it gets to the point where the joke has kind of been on for too long, and it overstays its welcome, and it's not funny anymore. I think that the game loses points in that moment where it starts off fun and you're really enjoying it and it hits that peak and then you go past that peak and you really don't know what to do with it. It kind of has like an awkward stay to it. So those are my thoughts on the replayability.
So the overall fun score that we gave for this game, Henchman,
is a 5. I know that seems kind of low, but there's a reason for it, okay? Bear with me. Now, a lot of the cards look really nice. There's a very distinctive flavor to each and every single one. The art style is great. There's obviously is a labor of love. There's a lot of work that went into all these things. But that being said, there's just a couple of problems with it. For instance, the fact that only 2 cards in this whole game are going to add to your deck throughout the entirety of the game. And one of them is a minion that you might not even get, or you might get, and the other one is a card that you have to buy at the beginning of the game. And it's completely possible that you're this guy, and you get this card, and everybody else can get bent, because you're going to be the only one adding cards to your deck at least every turn, or every other turn, and then you're going to gain so much power that you pretty much you might as well just decide that that person wins. But if you throw out those cards in the game and you decide to play with the rest, it's not so bad. There's still the issue of the time and everything, and there's still a couple of other things going on. Like, one of the things that we were talking about was that we would love to see the Minion card, the Minion's Rage card, actually be a track for a failure option. So that if it gets to the final level of that, you fail. And then you just lose the game. Everybody loses because, the minion, the Overlord failed in what he was trying to do. And you can raise and lower the numbers depending on the number of people in the game and how many tasks are failed. So you keep raising it 1. Because as it is, you're never going to get to 15 the way this works in the game. It's just sort of superfluous. So why not make it more interesting and give a little bit more to go on? So there's still some potential in the game. You might actually have a good deal of fun with it, but it's pretty average based on the way that we looked at things. So a 5 is about pretty good for it.
So that was our review of Henchman by Clarion Game Studios.
They have already said that they're going to be putting out a revised version of the rules in PDF form. We'll put a link of it in the description down below. It might even be there. Check it out.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoy our content, be sure to watch more of our videos. Thank you. Thanks for
You wrong.
I did. I completely screwed it. Didn't know that. There's a little bit of that. This is what I get. This is my punishment.
This is Josh's hell.
Yeah.
You just end the video there.